Hello. All right, so more planting to do today. Now that you have done some exploring with seeds and you Googled what different seeds belong to different plants and how all the seeds are different and they all produce their own special plant, today we're going to actually start planting some of those things. I know you were not having all that much success with your bean plant. And that's okay. We are going to keep going and keep trying. Remember, those bean plants might just wake up. They just might be late bloomers. That's all right. So just keep them watered. And today you're going to learn a trick that might help speed up that germination process. So what you're going to need today is your dirt in a bowl, some water, some sort of container to plant your seeds in. I like to use these milk cartons because they're biodegradable. They're just the right size, especially for the plants that we're going to grow today. They're nice square flat bottoms and they all fit nice and neatly together in a row, or if I'm packing them in a box, they all fit really good. So I like to use these. If you have milk carton from your lunch or your breakfast today, go ahead and get that out, or find a container that's somewhat like this. Okay? And just like before when we planted our bean seeds, you need to take your water, dump it into your soil, and get it good and moist. Now remember, we want it kind of like dirt ball moist. We don't want it too sloppy. We don't want it dry though. It needs to be a nice wet consistency where when you put it in your hand, you can make a dirt ball, and then when you squeeze it really hard, some of the water squeezes out. But when you're not squeezing it, when you're not squeezing it, the water's not dripping out, That's the consistency that we're looking for. So it can hold the water, but when you give it a good squeeze, you can squeeze it out. That's a perfect consistency. Once you have that done, what you're going to do is you're going to take your container and you're going to fill it up with dirt. And this can be a little tricky, so I'm trying really hard not to make too much of a mess because they're going to come sweep my room any second now. And I already swept the floor like 3 times today. But anyway, stuff it in and pack it in there pretty tight. You don't really want...
Max Ramus to the music room, please. Max to the music room.
You don't really want air pockets getting stuck in there because the roots won't grow, right? So every time I put some dirt in, I'm pushing it down and packing it in really good. So I'm packing it in. Okay. So... my bowl is kind of fluted on the side, so it's a little tricky to get the dirt out. But see, I'm full. All right, so after, you can pause this video right now until you get that part done. Perfect. All right, so I'm just gonna wipe my hand a little bit because I don't want to touch my laptop with dirty fingers. Okay, that didn't help very much. So now we have the carton, and with the class, we planted 2 types of seeds. I cannot remember how much soil I sent you, but I think I sent you a whole Ziploc bag full of soil. So if you don't have enough soil to fill up the carton, that's okay. We're gonna plant sunflower seeds and tomato seeds. Okay. I probably should have said that in the beginning. Sorry. But I'm gonna demonstrate to you the tomato seeds, and then I'm gonna let you go ahead and do it yourself with the sunflower seeds. Hopefully you saved your seeds from the last activity and you still have some left over. I think I did say to save some of the seeds for planting later. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take like 3 tomato seeds because the more seeds you plant, the better off you are at getting a good germination. So out of these seeds, if all 3 of them germinate, fantastic. But if only one of them germinates, I really only need just the one, okay? So if I only ever planted one seed and it never germinated, then I got nothing. So at least right now I have 3 chances to get at least one of these seeds to germinate, and that's pretty good. Usually most of the time, out of 3, you'll get 1 at least to germinate. And you want to kind of separate them in your soil, okay? So, and they don't need to be too deep in the soil too. The deeper you put them, the harder it is for them to get out. So I'm going to put, I always like to say, like I'll use my finger, right? And I'll go to that first bend, that first place where my finger bends. That's where I say that's a pretty good depth for my seed, all right? And sometimes because this is a tomato seed, I'm not going in very much. Look, I'm not even really covering my nail that much, but my nail's pretty long, right? About that deep. See that? And I'm going to do 3 corners because I'm going to do 3 seeds. 1 corner, I'm just going to kind of keep empty. So I did 1, 2, 3. See my little holes? And then I'm just going to pop a seed in each corner. 1 in each hole. 2, 3. Now all the seeds are in the hole, and then I'm just going to lightly cover them up. Okay? And then I'm going to water them in. If you have a little water bottle like this, that's awesome. Or you can use your faucet. I wouldn't use this again because you might accidentally pour too much. You can't really control the flow that comes out. But if you use your faucet on just a trickle, you can go under the water like that. But I'm just going to use this little spray bottle and water them in so it's nice and wet on top, and then that wetness is going to go down and it's going to pass through the seeds. And now this is the final trick. It's over there, so I have to go grab it. I'll be right back. Okay, final trick. Plastic bag and an elastic. And what you're going to do is you're going to take the plastic bag and you're going to put it over the container. My nose is itchy. I've got some dirt or something on my nose. And then only 1 time around with the elastic because you still need air to be able to get into there. All right? Now, I'm not going to tell you why we did this. I want to see if you can figure it out. All right? So, you might have some ideas right now already why we're putting the bag over the sunflower and the tomatoes, because you're going to do it with both of them, the sunflowers and the tomatoes. And I'm interested to know what those ideas are. So record those ideas and tell me about them on Seesaw. Okay? And then what I want you to do is wait overnight all the way to tomorrow about this same time. And I want to look at your plant again and look at the bag. And then I want you to tell me, now what do you think? Why do you think Mrs. Lewis had you put a bag with a little rubber band on the tomato seed and the sunflower seeds? Okay? So I'll be expecting your first responses. Why did we do this? I want to know what you think right now. And then after waiting overnight into tomorrow around the same time after lunchtime, I want you to look at it again and tell me what you think then. Okay? All right, so this is your job. Don't forget to label your container so you know what you planted I would just put maybe an S for sunflower and a T for tomato. Okay? And that way you'll know which is which. Put it in a nice, warm, sunny spot. And if you have lights, if you have like 40-watt light bulbs or whatever at home, that works too. All right. So that is your job for today. Don't forget to work on some of your fluency activities, your sounds, or your handwriting, or your shake and spill, your fill it up. You have plenty of things that you can do. Pick a couple of them and keep yourself occupied. Happy numbers. Please go on to happy numbers too. You haven't done that in quite a few days, and that would be helpful to go on to that and work on some number bonds and stuff like that. Okay? All right.
Brittany Lane to the office, please. Brittany Lane.
That's it. Have fun. Can't wait to see what you did on Seesaw. Bye.